Hello, 8th grade Bobcats. Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to another week at the Helena Middle School. Welcome back to what will be your last semester at the Helena Middle School. It's gone quickly for me and for you. We are 5 semesters in, 1 to go on your HMS experience. Let's make sure we finish your HMS middle school career strong. Right now is a clean slate for your last semester, second semester of your 8th grade year. Today's Bob lesson, going to talk about this new app that I keep hearing kids talk about, which in my opinion is absolutely horrible. I'm sure that some of you will disagree with me. And maybe a bigger context of understanding that in 2018, we live in a time where social media applications, I'll know a lot of you live your lives through these phones, and it really changes how we interact with one another. And I think the most important message I want you to get out of today's Bob lesson, I want to encourage you to get out of it, is you have to protect yourself in life. You got to protect yourself in different situations. If you vacation to Chicago, Illinois, which is one of the most dangerous cities in the United States, you wouldn't go walking around in a crime-infested neighborhood at midnight, would you? No, you would protect yourself. Your intuition would tell you this isn't safe. Well, when it comes to these apps and social media and how we use them, we've got to always be protecting ourselves, not putting ourselves in a situation to get hurt physically or in this case emotionally. So new Bob lesson for you today. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you guys go out and make the most of your last semester at HMS. All right, this week's Bob lesson is going to be titled, Is Sarahah, I don't even know how to say that, the worst app on earth? But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. Let's be a learner. All right, these are some of the reasons that I'm going to back up why I think this app might be one of the worst ones out there. The internet and social media have created internet trolls. Trolls are people that anonymously spread their negative energy and try to tear other people down on the internet. This app gives the easiest access to internet trolls that I've seen with my own eyes. Anytime you give someone an anonymous forum, you're going to have to expect to hear some negative and even unfair comments. And from what I've observed with students talking about this app, that's definitely the case. My question to you guys is, why do we need an anonymous app to give people positive feedback? Why not make positive comments to people straight to their face? I try to do this every day in my job. I try to find positive things about people, especially students, and say it to them because I feel like we need more positivity in the world and less negativity. At a time in life, like middle school students, when you're 12 to 19 years old, trying to answer that pivotal question of, who am I? Knowing that this is something that middle school students are trying to figure out. Virtually everyone is insecure to some measure. I've talked about this. Everybody in middle school is very insecure. It's just a time in your life when you're at an age where insecurity runs rampant. Even adults and everybody and human beings in general are insecure to some point. You take that insecurity and you add anonymous criticism, and it's gonna equal a not great result. And that's kind of the basis of why would you even be on this app. The main person whose opinion of you that should matter most is the person looking back at you in the mirror. I did a whole Bob lesson a year or two ago called The Man in the Glass. If you've ever heard that poem, it's fantastic. It talks about being objective and really being objective with yourself and constantly asking yourself, is this the person I want to be? Am I doing good? Am I doing bad? And talking about how you can fool everybody else, but you can't fool yourself. If you really seek constructive feedback, I did another Bob lesson last year on blind spots, and sometimes getting constructive feedback can be good for identifying those blind spots. Ask someone who you know cares about your well-being and is in a position to give you that feedback. Maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a teacher, school counselor, so on and so forth. When you ask for anonymous feedback on things out there on this app, you've got to understand that you're not going to get credible feedback because of the situation that it is. If you're going to be on this app, prepare to take the good with the bad. And my gut instinct tells me there's more bad than good with this app. And finally, in this day and age, with access to the internet and social media, you have to continue to protect yourself. And a lot of times by protecting yourself, I'm talking about your mental health. So after hearing about this app, I went to the App Store to try to find out what this whole Sarahah app is all about. And predictably enough, just as I thought, looking at the two examples which I screenshotted and I put up here for you guys to see. Of course, it's going to advertise it as nothing but positive things. If you look at the comments, you rock. You did really good today. You really rock. I missed your videos. Please go back to YouTube. I liked your presentation today. Next time, try to have eye contact with the audience. Keep it up. Hey, yo, you were awesome. Great job. Predictably enough, nothing but positive comments that it's advertising towards.
Right here, Sarahah, it has more than 200 million users, and it kind of works like this. Let's say I post something on Instagram, I put that there, you can comment positive or negatively, anonymously. People are raving about this, but there's some people right here in Los Angeles who say this could be a danger for teenagers.
You could leave an anonymous message, and no one knows about it.
When 16-year-old Michael Rodriguez heard about the new app Sarahah, he had to try it.
What I like about it is people commenting nice stuff about me and giving me compliments and all that.
Started in Saudi Arabia, the app, which now has more than 200 million users, allows people to anonymously send and receive messages about posts on social media.
You're ugly, but my friends think you're hot.
And you don't even know who posted that.
No.
It started as an app for businesses to provide anonymous, constructive workplace feedback, but it's now made its way to the hands of teenagers around the world.
As the generation progresses and we're so connected, we want to know what everyone thinks about us. It's a generation of like.
Tech expert Jessica Naziri says the anonymous app is now more popular than YouTube or Facebook, but she's worried.
This is free reign for cyberbullying. I'm really worried to see what happens after this.
And Candace Voter agrees.
It does. This app is actually very dangerous for our teens.
She's the executive director of the Matthew Silverman Memorial Foundation, a nonprofit aimed at preventing teen suicide. She says social media has played a factor in suicide rates among teens being at an all-time high.
Kids have this unrealistic reality of what life should be, and it's all based on likes. But when you start getting these negative comments, they take it very personal, and it leads to mental health conditions and ultimately suicide.
She's afraid this new app will lead to cyberbullying and has this advice for parents.
Make sure that you're always a friend on every social media they have. You have to be in charge of your child's phone because they are deadly.
And our tech expert, Jessica Naziri, says in addition to the cyberbullying, she's also worried about the security of your identity when it comes to this, saying that she doesn't believe that those posts will remain anonymous. Our friend Michael Rodriguez, who uses it, says he's not going to use it much longer, but he does think that it will stick around. Reporting live from Santa Monica, Danya Backus, Fox 11 News.
All right, this week's quote of the week comes from a friend of mine's mom about 10 years ago. I'll never forget when she said this. She said, if you don't want to get caught in a forest fire, don't go walking through the forest when the forest is on fire. And I hope this is applicable to you guys in your social media use, specifically protecting yourself. Don't go putting yourselves in situations on social media where you allow other people to anonymously spew their toxicity and their crap and put it on you. Always protect yourself in life. All right, this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners are Roxy Hogue, Bryce Courtney, Logan Guyman, Alyssa Klein, and Kai Mosier. The answer to last week's Jellybean Question of the Week was noon. This week's Jellybean Question of the Week is, when I take 5 and add 6, I get 11. But when I take 6 and add 7, I get 1. What am I? If you think you know, submit your answer to the Bob box no later than this Friday, and pay attention to next week's Bob lesson to see if you are a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's go out and make it a great week at the Helena Middle School.